Okay, everyone, so I'm out in the woods, got a little announcement. I think I'm gonna make that my tripod. Let's see if that works. I haven't pre-arranged this, so if this works, I'll be really happy. I'm trying to balance my phone. Could it work? Will it work? It doesn't look like it's gonna work. What if I took another branch? It's a dead branch right here. And I wedged the dead branch in through there. Is that gonna... I need to wedge my phone. Okay. And if I take this branch, I put that through here. It's all gonna be part of the video. It's all good. I kind of want to weed out all the people who aren't like real into me, you know? Because otherwise, you don't get to, only like cool people get to know my plans, at least right now. Eventually, everyone's gonna know my plans because I'll succeed. It's kind of like what successful plans is. It's when everyone finds out your plans. So the tripod's working, but it's not really. I think this is why people invented tripods. Because when you try to turn, if I just angle. Okay, now my phone's hanging, so that's a little too far down. Here we go. Here we go. Nice. So I can't see this because there's a branch in the way. But this actually looks like it's a really good angle. It's getting a really good shot. So I'm happy. I'll leave this be. I'm feeling really great right now. The reason for that is I feel like I just cracked into a deep health code. Something I've been wondering about for ages. I've been like pondering this question of carnivore and like why is it and is it not this panacea at the same time? And it's just this huge question I've had. And I think I solved it for myself. And the articulation of that right now, how it's helping me, is I'm just doing carnivore with fasting. While I'm fasting, I'm drinking green tea, which is having the effect of getting all the gut bacteria to die off, the bad gut bacteria to die off while I'm fasting. And then I eat the meat, and then I feel really good. And then I kind of like have a little like, and then I drink more of the green tea. And it's like, I'll let you guys know when it works completely, but it's this, it's a gut bacteria. It's ultimately, I think that like the benefit of most of the things we do outside of metabolism and nutrients for diet comes down to gut bacteria. And I have some theories about how we improve gut bacteria and why gut bacteria get messed up and how diet plays into this. And this is just because I've had really bad issues with gut bacteria, like on top of insomnia problems, like horrible insomnia problems for most of my life that were so bad that I didn't even deal with the gut problems. I had like diarrhea. I had still had bad breath issues, still have like some diarrhea issues. I mean, not since I started. Not today. I mean, like on and off diarrhea, and I've always like been able to like deal with it, but it always just comes sometimes, and like sometimes I just have. For most of the time, I just have diarrhea all the time. So then I'm like, well, when I don't have diarrhea for like months on end, and then the diarrhea comes back, I'm like, that's a success. So it doesn't like I can always control it though. That's the thing is like I never just have the constant diarrhea and I can't get rid of it. I had that before. I've had that many times. It was just like gets so bad, it just completely blows out. But I know how to manage it now, and I know how to just get it to the point where it doesn't ever do that. So this is all on managing gut bacteria through metabolism, through HPA axis, through nutrients, through like keto, like by switching between carbs and I'll just make these two things into one video. Fuck it. But switching between carbs and fat. I'll try to crack my back, but I don't want to knock this branch off. But switching between carbs and fat as fuel sources, by alternating the types of carbs, by meal rotating, like even like people like rotation diets, all these things, it's like killing off bad bacteria. It's like ultimately, I think underlying it is that like our culture, I think everyone in our culture has some degree of bad bacteria in our gut. Also because of, shout out to Joshua Mason here, the highly toxic load in our environment. And well, I never experienced toxins to the degree that Mr. Mason did. I experienced insomnia, which destroyed my metabolism, mental health, gut health, always had gut issues kind of, but I've always had insomnia, so I don't really know which came first because I've had insomnia since I can remember. But yeah, I had both of those, and then gut destroyed, metabolism destroyed, nutrient problems. Then I ended up having toxicity issues because of all of that, and then solving all of that, coming out of that, being clear-headed now for like the first time in like forever, like was getting more and more clear. Just see my videos, guys. See, I talk so much that you can just constantly see how I'm doing. You're gonna see me getting better and better and better, to the point where all y'all are gonna be like, Devin, how did you get so healthy, fit, and high performing? And I'm gonna tell you, guys, it's literally all the stuff I talked about before the point where I got super healthy, fit, high performing, hot, lean, sexy, and started winning all the jiu-jitsu tournaments. And then it's the video, like there's this pivot point, just that video. I talk about one other concept. It's all that stuff. And then it's in like the course, and like, I don't know, you can like watch all my stuff and try to like piece things together, or you can join my courses, join my programs, join my communities, because the community is really where you learn to implement this stuff. Because even me, at the end of the day, I'm teaching you guys how to do what I do and what I've done. And everything I do and I've done, I do it in the context of other people that I'm helping and that I'm doing it with. So in some sense, I don't even know if this stuff works if you're not like actively talking about it with a community and implementing with a community. Maybe the mind of the community is somehow necessary for this stuff to be successful. I don't really think so. At the end of the day, I think it's kind of just biochemistry, and I think the biochemical principles I talk about in the courses are ultimately all you need. But I don't know. That's why I have the community there, because I think really to implement the stuff successfully, you need the community. So that's why I have the community. But like, I don't know, I've read the Alcoholics Anonymous books just because like I've had points in time where I've had just the compulsive desire to smoke weed all the time. And I'm like, why is this going on? And then I read the Alcoholics Anonymous book and I'm like, wow, this has nothing to do with what I'm experiencing right now. And then I improve my gut health and improve everything else. And then I stop having the desire to smoke weed. And I'm like, wow, this was definitely more of me using a substance to cope with an underlying health problem, potentially even cope in a productive manner with an underlying health problem, and then resolving the health problem and thus no longer feeling the compulsive desire to use said substance. So I think that there's just like I don't know, I just really don't have an issue with substances. I think I just had an issue with health. I think a lot of us do. I think there is definitely substance issues. I don't want to get too much in it. But anyway, the reason I brought up Alcoholics Anonymous in the first place is A, because I read a lot of books and I like to talk about them, so I just talk about all the books I read. And then B, it's because Alcoholics Anonymous, they talk about the power of the group and how the group has some power, and that's why Alcoholics Anonymous has groups, and that's why I start my Insomnia course with, hello, my name is Devin Young, and it has been like 5 years, so-and-so months, etc., since I had chronic, long-term, untreatable insomnia, because that's kind of how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm just some dude who like figured out how to fix this thing, and now I'm like talking to y'all about how I fixed it. And you can take that for what you want to take it with. But the whole reason I'm making the video, and I want to wrap this video up so I can get on with my walk, and I just don't know if my phone's always unpredictable, so something could happen, and I'm in such a good location, a good mood, and the sun's in the perfect place, and it's just the right time for the video. I wanted to talk about how I'm planning on starting basically my own cult and country. And like, it's going to be kind of culty, like, but in the best way possible. Like in like The True Believer, I was reading like a book about cults and how to like start a cult, starting a cult. And he talks about how the success or failure of the cult is going to be based on its ability to take on new members productively and various things like that. So I'm like, how am I going to do this? I'm thinking about this. And I'm like, what's going to happen when I blow up? Because I'm going to blow up. Like, it's just going to happen as soon as I turn the ads on my birthday. This whole funnel, this is green tea and water, but this whole funnel, this whole internet presence thing that I have is going to get blown up. It's going to get blown up. My brother's social media is going to get blown up. Everyone's going to get like tons of followers and stuff. And we get a ton of attention with that. And with all the attention, I was thinking like, wow, they're going to try like bring me out there and be like, you're starting a cult. You're basing your cult off of weird, untested health practices. And like, you're making these claims that you had insomnia even so you can like start your cult, and like, which is completely insane. Because if you look at like the timeline of my life, it doesn't even make any sense. Because like I tried to like be ABA therapist for a while before I even started doing this. And then like, I only even came back to doing this because I was just getting people commenting on my Insomnia videos that I made when I was doing coaching full time, saying how much it helped them. And I was just like, well, I'm doing the home services thing with my brother, and I can either build a multi-million-dollar home services company, or I can build a multi-million-dollar company treating insomnia. And I feel like God wants me to. I feel like God wants me to build a company treating insomnia. I feel like in some sense, I want to get all God, because people can use that so manipulatively, and that's disgusting. And it turned me off of religion for so long. But I know my highest self, like the part of me that I would want to go on after I die, like the part of me I want people to remember, like that part of me, like whatever the highest part of you is, like the part of you that's like the part of you that like you want like your mom to like remember, the part of you like you want like the way you want your kids to see you, like that part of you, like that part of me wants me to do this over just the home services company. So throwing this out there, I'm still doing both. I mean, I'm not committing to either until either makes me a ton of money. But yeah, it's gonna blow up. And I'm just thinking, I'm sitting on this rock. I'm actually wondering, literally, I'm on this rock. I'm wondering if any Native American ever, because this area is full of Native Americans, and maybe Native American. I'm on this rock. I'll show you the rock after the video because my tripod's unstable. But wondering if any Native American ever declared that he was going to start his own nation on top of this rock, or anyone ever did declare anything on top of this particular rock in these woods here in Massachusetts. But yeah, I'm just declaring, like, I was thinking though, basically though, they're gonna like drag me. I'm already doing that. Like that's already like happening, but I'm like, I'm just talking about it. I'm bringing this out in the open. And I'm just gonna talk about it a ton because I'm like, well, when they eventually bring me out and accuse me of starting my own cult and all this stuff, the best defense is, of course I am. I have thousands of hours of my YouTube videos talking about it. Would you like to buy my cult like starting course? Would you like to like buy my like how to build your own country course? Would you like to buy my how to build your own company and frame it like a cult and a company course or a country course? Would you like to buy my like all these different things? And something I talk about all the time. They're gonna be like, it's just gonna kind of overwhelm them. And like at the end of the day, I was thinking about Terrence McKenna like doing his thing going around. Like one of the things he said, if you're familiar with Terrence McKenna, in the 90s, the height of the drug war, the height of the crack epidemic and the drug war, this dude went around the country and made a living by putting out videos of him and on the internet, talks of him on the internet, talking about why you should like do psychedelic mushrooms. And then he sold books telling people how to grow psychedelic mushrooms. And then he told people that like they should all grow psychedelic mushrooms, and that like, I mean, he didn't really tell them that they should. He just kind of suggested that it might be a good idea if you're inclined, and that it was possible, and that he had a book and so whatever. He wasn't having an agenda even. I think actually what he did, his agenda was that he believed that we were going through a crisis of consciousness, and because of that, he wanted to increase the consciousness of the world, and he viewed psychedelics as the only opportunity to do that fast enough to save the planet. And I kind of agree with him. Like even my meditation and stuff has ultimately become successful because I learned about my consciousness through psychedelics, and now I can meditate and explore my consciousness without them. But I needed something that powerful to give me the impetus. But anyway, like that's ultimately because of Terrence McKenna. So in some sense, even my cult's a part of Terrence McKenna's cult. In the end, it's so interesting how it all works. But basically though, I mean, I'm not really like having a mushroom cult. I have no desire to spread the widespread use of psychedelics. I think they're cool. I like how they're becoming legal. I'm glad I don't have to like work on that. That's not like a thing I have to do, is like help make psychedelics legal. They seem to be doing that on their own. If I can talk about it a little bit and help it on its way, because it really helped me and they didn't really see a downside. Because I always did it in controlled environments. I always tested it. It was always just very, 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 very safe. If I did it at all. If I'm just not, this whole thing isn't performance art. I don't know. Let's just wonder about the performance art of all of it. But let's say theoretically the bridge between whatever. I don't know. I'll just get a really good lawyer once I get like a lot of money for this thing, so I have to get like my ass sued. It's such a weird thing. Like people are like, they just go after you for like anything, because there's so much illegal stuff nowadays. It's like, it's illegal to like eat a mushroom that grows in the woods. Fucking crazy. But anyway though, Terrence McKenna was able to get away with that, and he said in some ways that he thought he was able to get away with that because he just talked about it so much that it didn't seem like it was a conspiracy. And I like that. I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, I'm just going to talk about the cult and the country so much that it doesn't seem like a conspiracy. Like, people are like, oh my God, that health coach guy is starting a cult. It's actually going to be more like, wait, do you know that guy who like has a cult actually like coach, like the weird guy who talks about cult stuff has like a successful health coaching thing for people with insomnia. Do you know he actually like is good at like helping you with insomnia? Weird, right? Like weird guy who talks about Nietzsche and like reads like Plato and like talks about starting his own country or something can actually help you with insomnia. I thought he just ranted about jujitsu and kettlebells. That's kind of like the vibe I'm going for. I want it to be like kind of like an afterthought. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day though too, it's just like I think that's also like there's a nature to like putting things underground. It makes them darker. Just because there's no light underground, the sun's going down. But yeah, like if I'm just like, ooh, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say I did like inner circle way where I'm like, ooh, like I got like my health coaching thing. And you come to like my health coaching seminar and then like we talk about like starting a cult. Nah, I'll just have a different seminar for that. I'll have my health coaching certification, then my cult coaching certification. I don't really know. The whole thing with the cult at the end of the day just comes down to like, I really want to build a nice community built around healthy living, but like there's just no really good food to buy. Like at the end of the day, like I'm like, oh, I'm just have to start all these companies to make like natural hair products, natural like skincare products, natural sunscreen. Like I don't know, like maybe it's my own clothing line at this point. Like, and I have like my own farm so I can like grow the cattle the way I want. I'm gonna have like, you know what I mean? I already have all these things and I already grow all my own food anyway. So I'm like, why don't I just make it a full-blown cult country thing and just have like the company, the health coaching company. Let's say like I just give you the health coach and stuff and you like that and like you get in like better shape and you feel good and you no longer have to die and suffer from insomnia and stuff and you're happy about that, that's cool, whatever. And then like if you like that and you're like, you know, I really want to help this guy in his mission to make people healthy, you join the cult. And the cult's basically just the coaching company, but kind of like other companies too, because like it's just going to be like basically just the company, but kind of run like a cult. And then maybe the company just owns an island where like if you work for the company, you can go like hang out in the island, and the island's just got everything you need to live and has all the other people who like to live a healthy lifestyle and agree with like the way you want to live your life and like not eat seed oils and stuff. And they're not like, oh my God, like you won't go to Wendy's with us? You're like weird. Or like there's, I don't know, like, it's just a bummer. Like my wife and I like go to these social functions and everyone just brings all the food out and I'm just like, it's all poison and giving you cancer. And it just literally like if I eat it, I won't sleep for 5 days. But like, so I don't eat any of the food, and like my kids like can't eat the food because like they get sick. Like my daughter just throws up like randomly right now because like I've kind of been lax about what they eat, because I've been like, well, I mean, I'll make sure to eat healthy stuff at home, but like I want them to experience life in the world and stuff, so they don't like feel socially isolated by not being able to eat the food that other people serve them. And then now they've just been like, I don't know, they just throw up like just kind of randomly, and they're fine besides the fact that just randomly they'll just throw up like once or twice or 3 times a week, and then they're just fine. But like, I don't know what's causing that right now, so I have to go figure that out. But it's probably just some food thing issue related to the fact that there's just poison in all the food. So let's say you don't like that, and you're like, I want to not die, and I don't want it to be super socially stressful for me to like not give my kids poison. And you're like, well, I want to like work for a company that like wants me to like live a healthy, integrated lifestyle, and like pays me good money, and like believes in me like having kids and like having a husband and a social life and like doing jujitsu and stuff. Because like, wouldn't that be cool if like my company liked that I did jujitsu, so I could integrate work in jujitsu and health and like, you know, all like hiking and like just all the things I like. I can make videos about them. You guys can find them. You can also find me through my company, which is the health company. And then all the people who like the stuff I like can come work for me and with me in my companies making more stuff that we all like. And then if you just really like that, you just come hang out on like the island or wherever land we just owned, where we have all the farms that make the food that the companies sell. So is it a cult? Is it a country? Is it a company? Is it just my way of solving certain problems that I see in my environment? It's all of them, but I'm going to talk about it as though it's the most culty country ever. Because that way, when they accuse me of starting my own country cult, I can be like, yes, exactly. And then there's no like weird scandal and whatever, and I get to just be successful at this, because this seems like a really cool thing to do. And that note, adieu, my fine friends. I hope that we all have success at this and all of our other wonderful goals, provided that your goals are wonderful. They should be, though. I mean, just have success, you know? Just success breeds confidence, and confidence breeds success. So until next time, adieu. Tune in at 6 a.m. I'll show you the rock, too, because it's just this really cool rock. But, yeah, so I'm on top of the rock. It's like this mound. You can see more over here that it's like, kind of like falls off. And then there's like other mounds. I don't know if you can see them through the woods behind me. I can't switch the camera angle, but like there's other, yeah, there's like one like right there. It's like another hill that's not, like I could be on. It's like a valley, and then like there's like another one up there. But basically though, yeah, 6 a.m. this video is going to come out, and then other videos like this coming out 6 a.m. and then also reaction videos and reaction videos to health stuff, reaction videos to whatever, just stuff I find interesting, again, to create widespread reach for the Cult Country Company. Because I just want to find people who like the stuff I like and bring them all together so we can all like do cool stuff together, because the internet seems to be making that possible. So let's just do it, because why not?